So I just wanted to look at a very basic project you can do with Tinkercad, and excuse me because as I say, it's my first look at Tinkercad, and I might make a few missteps anyway, but this is it's a simple shape that I want to make, so I just thought I'd use Tinkercad just to see if I could do it, and so we'll just try it out. I think you press this button here, 3D design, that's what we want to do. I just want to make a cylinder that's, well, actually a tube. I have watched several tutorials on Tinkercad. I've only sort of done about 3 of the most basic tutorials after having experimented with me a little bit. So now what I want to do is to make a tube that is actually 6.5 millimeters on the inside of the tube and 15 millimeters on the outside. So I think what you need to do is to get 2 tubes, you need to get 2 rods, and then put one inside the other. So I'm just going to grab the cylinder, move it into the work plane. Now what we can do is to specify the different dimensions here. So it's 20 tall by 20 wide, so what I need to do is just adjust that. And I think it's better to actually type it in rather than try and adjust it freehand. So that's going to be 20. I'm going to make that 15. Yeah, so now it's kind of made a kind of an oval, and we don't want that, so I'm going to have to, I've made that 15, I need to make this one 15 as well, so yeah, so I'm going to make that 15 as well, so I'll make it round again. That's it. Alright, okay, you have to use this cube at the top here to actually move around the model. Again, I do think there's another way of doing that which is easier, I just can't for the life of me remember what it is right now. So we've got our tube that's actually 20 millimeters tall, and actually what I was thinking, I wanted something 30, so I'm going to adjust that to 30. So now got something that's 30 tall, and what I want to do is to create as I say, a hole inside it. So I'm going to drag this. Well, that's interesting. It's come onto the different faces that you can have. I really want it to be in the middle. I'm going to put it there, and then I believe there's some align tools here, so that's not that, is it? That must be symmetry. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave that there for the time being. So I've got it over the center of the item that I want to make it, but obviously it's not in the middle, so I really need to make that in the middle. So what I need to do is both, I think, select, that's it. So now we can do the align tools. So yeah, so I think what we're going to do is, I think you need to, in order to get it in the middle, you need to do this one. Yeah, so I'm going to hopefully that, and this one. Yeah, so now I think it's in the middle. Basically I've done one dimension or one side and then the other side. Now it's in the middle, so this one should be now in the middle of this one. So now I want to just select the background. I want the top one selected. I'm going to make the hole that I want in the middle. That needs to be 6.5. I wanted 6.5 in diameter, so I'm just going to adjust these. Maybe you can adjust them at the same time here, look. So I want that to be 6.5 millimeters. It's moved it again, look, see, and I'm just going to make that 6.5 as well. It might go into the middle again, but no, it hasn't. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's 6.5. Now we want the length to be 30 to match the other one, so that it produces a hole in that other shape. So I'm going to say that's height is 30 to match the other one. Yeah, so really we want it to be in the same place as this, but in the middle, of course. So I'm going to just see if I can do that. Click the background and then select all of them, and then alignment tool here to get it in the center. So we need to do that, and this again, get it in the center again. So now it's in the center, it's on the same axis as that original rod that I made here. So really I want to get it aligned height wise. I'm sure if I do that what it will do. Oh yes, it did. Oh, it done it. Look, you see, it's done it really simply. Now it's off the grid now, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, so we're just going to use the cube here to have a look round it and have a look. It looks like it's gone right the way through. Right, I think what you do is when you want to firm up any changes like this, you have to group the items. So I think that's what you do when you want to kind of firm up the changes. So now you've got two shapes, one inside the other, so it's basically two elements. And if you want to then do that, I think what you have to do is to sort of like create the tube. What you have to do is to actually group the items, and hopefully it's got that. You see now I've grouped them. It's showing like the shadow here, which shows that there's a hole through the middle. So we've got our two items grouped together, which makes the hole in the middle. It makes the hole that you created turn into a hole in the shape. So there you can see it's bored right through. So that's perfect. That's exactly what I want, and it was quite quick to do. So what I might do is just export that as it is. So that's anything. I'm just going to save that, and then yeah, it gives you, when you start the file, it kind of gives you a kind of temporary name here at the top here, and obviously you can change that to whatever you want and then save it. So I'm going to say 15 by 6.5 millimeter. Let's say 15 by 6.5 millimeter by 30 millimeter tube. I'm just going to save that. I'm just going to, okay. I think I was mostly interested in how to manipulate things, and the align tool is a very good tool, very powerful, to actually make things, instead of just having to guess or using the snaps and things like that to actually align things. Here you can really sort of ensure that the two shapes are aligned together, and make sure that the inner tube is in the middle of the outer tube, or at least it forms a tube. The inner hole is in the middle of the outer shape. So that's a really powerful thing, and I found it quite useful, as I say, in this particular application as well. That's what I was thinking. I might try using this instead of my normal software, and although obviously because when you use something new, there's always a bit of a learning curve. You have to learn the new commands and so on. I actually did this quite quickly to make this shape. So I'm just going to export this, and I'm just going to I want an STL, so I'm going to go STL. Oh, it's downloaded it, look. So now we've got that downloaded, we can switch over to Prusa Slicer 2.8.1. So I'm going to import STL, and that download, which is here, is open. And I need to make more than one, so I'm just going to go Shift plus to make more than one, and then A to arrange them. And then we've got PLA mod profile, Easy 3D K9, Easy 3D K9, just checking that's all alright, and I'm just going to do slice now. And there we have it, including the skirt there, and so I'm just going to go with that and export G code. And I've already plugged in the SD card to the G drive, and I'm just going to save that as a G code file on that little SD card, export it, and then eject it. That's it. And I'm just going to put that into the printer now, and I'm going to print it, and then I'll just come back to you to show you how it printed. Oh, now you can see the two printed out, and I'm really happy with the way it's printed out. It's amazing. I've taken the idea to actually make the skirt 1 millimeter high, which means about 5 layers if you're using 0.2 layer height, because if you don't make the skirt a thick skirt, it will be difficult to remove it. Before, you can see on the bed itself actually that there's the red skirt and other skirts behind. I wasn't able to cleanly remove them because they're too thin to remove. That means printing something over the top of them to then lift them off. It will work if you do that, but it's a waste of material to do that. So yeah, I mean, I would go ahead and make the skirt at least 1 millimeter thick, and then it will just come off like that, and you won't have any residue on the bed at all. Sometimes it does leave a little bit, but mostly, for the most part, there's no residue. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the straightness of those tubes, and they printed pretty well with no problems at all. So I'm very happy with that. I can call that project completed. Please consider liking and subscribing if you found the video useful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.